Welcome to the Content Amplified podcast, brought to you by Masset. Our goal is to help you get more from your marketing content. Each episode is a 10 to 15 minute interview with industry experts that share amazing insights to help you squeeze as much juice from your content as you possibly can. Here's today's interview.
Welcome back to another episode of Content Amplified. Today I'm joined by Kirby. Kirby, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you having me.
You bet. Well, before we dive into the subject, Kirby, do you mind introducing yourself and let people kind of understand a little bit about your expertise, your passions when it comes to work and content and all of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll notice you just called me Kirby. My name is Mike Kirby, but everybody just calls me by my last name, Kirby. So if you're looking for me on LinkedIn or something, you'll need that Mike piece. I just moved to Florida from Utah, so that was a pretty fun journey to try out. And I work for a company called Impartner Software. Impartner has tools called Partner Relationship Management and Partner Marketing Automation. And that's what we're really going to talk about today is that partner marketing and how people can improve that. I've been there for about 5 years. I am the Senior Director of Partner Strategy and Growth, and I lead a team that works with our customers to consult on their partner strategies and share best practices with them. Prior to this, I ran a sales and marketing team at a partner, a small SI. So I've got a little bit of view from both sides of the fence here.
Love it. Perfect. Well, we'll dive into the subject. I'm super excited. I'll be honest, this is something I don't have a ton of experience with. So, as Kirby was kind of mentioning this subject, I just jumped on the opportunity to have this conversation. Really, when we look at partners, the kinds of content that we're producing for partners is not actually the kind of content that they're looking for, that they can utilize, that they need. Kirby, when you're looking at this, what's the kind of content that we typically give partners versus the kind of content that actually helps partners and accomplish the thing that you're looking to get out of that relationship?
So the biggest mistake I think we make in partner marketing is we take our corporate marketing, slap partner at the top and go, cool, we now have partner marketing. Partners really want a different kind of marketing than you will to your consumers. They want to know, why is your product or service relevant to my business? How will what you're selling help me win? Right? How do I make more money working with you? And what resources do you offer me? So it's a completely different type of marketing.
I love it. Yeah. So a lot of companies put out a ton of content, but their partners never seem to use it. Like even the stuff that is product facing, why do partners tend to not utilize content as much? Is it really this gap between what they're really looking for? Or is it accessibility? What are some of your thoughts on the utilization of content by partners?
I think most of it is just it's not relevant to me and my business. Partners need to kind of have two things. One, you have to enable me as a partner, right? How do I win with you? Give me discovery questions, right? I want to know when I'm out talking to one of my customers or prospects, how can I get your solution into them, right? What problems are you solving for other customers? Give me examples. Give me stuff I can actually use out in the field. Typically, a partner is a pretty small organization, 10, 20, 50 people maybe. When I ran this small firm, I was basically a one-man sales and marketing shop, and I finally got a couple extra salespeople, but I had to run it all. So give me some templates, right? Give me a proposal template that I can use. Give me RFP responses, things that I can actually use when I'm actually trying to go out and get business.
So it sounds like a lot of training material is the kind of things that they need, a lot of just how to make it simple, right? Just how do you make it easy on me to sell what you have?
Exactly.
I love that. So when you're looking to work with partners, there's this idea of obviously we do marketing, we market to our prospects and things like that. But if we're working with partners, how do we market to partners? How do we do partner marketing? How does that whole function work and what does that look like?
So there are kind of two sides of partner marketing. So what we've talked about so far is what I would call to partner marketing. This is where we're marketing to a partner, right? Because we want them to go sell our products and services or refer them or support them, whatever type of partner it is. The second side of partner marketing is what we call through partner marketing. And that's where we're using partners to take our content, slap their logo on it, and then go market to their prospects and customers.
Love it. So on that kind of content, so you've got the content geared towards the partner and then the through content. On that side of things, is it okay to just slap a corporate logo on it? Or do you typically like to do more customization or personalization based off of the product and the specific relationship with the partner? How would you approach that?
So we find people in this space are either wildly successful or they fell miserably, right? And we'll hear from those fell miserably customers. They say nobody uses it, nobody adopts it. And it's really because they're doing it wrong. And to me, that is exactly the problem. They're taking a corporate piece of collateral and they're saying, here, partner, you can go slap a logo on this and call it yours. That's really not what partners want to go out and market.
Do you often look for partnerships where they've had personal experience with a product? It seems like obviously the ability to tell a story is one of the best ways to sell a product. How often are your partners actual consumers of your products? And how do you kind of work with that gap for maybe times where they haven't used the product before or they really aren't a consumer of it?
That is a really relevant question these days because partners, as they're trying to reinvent their businesses, are getting into markets they may not have been in before. So I think the first part of the question, yes, if you've worked with the product, you understand the product or at least the industry, you're gonna have a much better grasp on it. And of course, when it comes to marketing, they might be able to market that a little bit better themselves. When you have a partner coming in and saying, "Hey, I've never done this before, but we're expanding," it's so critical to give them the right tools because they probably have no idea what they're doing, right? Again, they're probably a small little mom and pop shop and they're venturing into these waters they've never been.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I think it's pretty safe to say a lot of us probably don't do a great job of partner marketing. And what are some pieces of advice to say as you're approaching partner marketing, maybe just getting started out with working with partners or building those relationships? What can marketing teams do to really enable that, to grow it, to scale it, to make it a feasible function of their business?
So the very first thing, like we've kind of talked about, is you have to just attract a partner to want to sell your product and your brand. So that's all the things we've talked about, enabling them, training them. Two, the whole reason you get partners is to expand your reach, right? If you have a sales team of 10 people, you're not going to be able to get out to the whole world. Versus if you have a partner ecosystem of 100, 500, 100,000, you're expanding your reach. So it's so critical to get those partners in that ecosystem to take your content, your messaging, and spread it outwards. And where I think that really can help you is if you can make those partners experts in your industry. So if you stop just product marketing and exactly what we're doing here, we're talking about content and how to make it better, make them the expert in their field, give them pre-written blogs, give them studies and research that they can put their name on, give them thought leadership articles, give them a spotlight on your podcasts and your master classes. That's where they're going to get out there and spread the word and really promote your brand.
I love this. So you're essentially figuring out ways to make them thought leaders in this space. And so you're saying like even to the level of ghostwriting for them in their behalf, right?
Yeah. And of course you want to, be careful, tell them you've got to go in and change the content into your own voice a little bit, because if you have 100 partners putting out exactly the same blog, then, you're going to get some SEO situations in that. But if you can just tweak it a little bit here and there, you should be safe and you're giving them those tools to use.
That is a point that I have never really thought of really saying, hey, we can take non-subject matter experts and really allow them to become subject matter experts if they have the right audience and exposure.
That's how they build their audience as well, is if they can get themselves out on LinkedIn. I think we all recognize LinkedIn is a huge advocate for our businesses if done right. And these small companies just don't have the tools and resources to do it well. So you hand them those tools. And of course, now they're loyal to you. It's your brand they're promoting.
Now, do you often coach your partners on how to do marketing in general? Like obviously they have some realm of exposure and some kind of an audience, but do you have to often walk them through that? I mean, what's kind of the balance and how would you approach that to really enable partners to be very successful?
Yeah, I mean, you've found a golden nugget there. If you can take your partners and enable them to do these things on their own, I mean, that's gold right there. So if you can train their sales team to go sell your product, and you can train their marketing team or their marketing person in most cases to go market your product, the fact that you're the one doing it and investing in them, they're going to turn that right back around and invest in you.
I love it. So when it comes to the kind of content that we're actually providing to these partners, obviously we talked about the different kinds, the training material, and also the thought leadership, and also the product stuff that they can utilize. How can groups measure the effectiveness of their content? Obviously, we're giving them lots of content, but how do you recommend understanding what content is making an impact versus what isn't, so that you can improve, make better content, or do things like that?
Yeah, now you're asking me a very self-evangelizing question, because the answer to that is to get enablement tools, automation tools such as what we sell. And I don't want to make this a commercial, but high level, the point is there are lots of tools out there that can help you manage this content, syndicate the content, make it super easy for a partner. We all understand that it has to be easier. I'm not going to do it. So make it super easy, automated. And then the beauty of those tools is they'll come back and give you actual metrics. How many leads did this generate? And then this is where our products combine, how many leads did it generate? How, where'd the lead go? Is it closed? All that kind of stuff. And then you can really pinpoint what's going on all the way down to MDF. That's another whole topic we could talk about. But those marketing development funds, where do all those funds go? The more you automate that, the more you can answer those questions.
I love it. Perfect. Well, any other pieces of advice before we end the podcast about how a marketing team can get the most out of their partnerships through their content?
Yeah, I think we've covered most of it, but to really wrap it up, think like the partner, right? What does the partner need to go be successful? As soon as you can find that, and I get it, it's a lot harder, it's a lot easier to say than do, but if you can figure out what makes your partner successful and help them drive their success, that's where you're going to find the real benefit with this partner marketing.
I love it. And I think it's a channel that all too often we underutilize. And I think content plays a massive role in our ability to help them grow and expand and be able to promote us and have all new avenues for revenue. So thank you so much. Kirby, if anyone wants to reach out and continue the conversation or connect in any way, shape, or form, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
LinkedIn is fantastic. Of course, there's probably 10,000 Mike Kirbys out there. You can certainly try and search for me, put in and partner with it, and you should come up. If you need the actual URL, it's the standard URL, and then it's Michael B. Kirby. You can also reach me on Twitter at Kirby Utah.
Perfect. And I will make sure that we put all of that information in the show notes so anyone can reach out to you. So Kirby, thank you again for the time. Appreciate it. And thanks for all the insights. This was wonderful.
Yeah, thanks again for having me. I love to do it.
You bet.
Thank you for listening to the Content Amplified podcast. Please subscribe and leave us a review. And for additional ways to get more out of your content, visit our website at getmasset.com. That's getmasset.com. And tune in next time to the Content Amplified podcast.